Student, today we are going to discuss about random module. Random module are very important considering class 12th board examination because it covers 2 marks question and that are definitely comes in every year in the board examination. Hence, random module may be discussed and you have to understand it very carefully. Why random module is used? Random module is used to generate a random number, but a random number is not enabled implicitly. Hence, we have to import it in our program via import statement. Every first statement is import random when you want to use random module and its function. It has various functions to generate random number that are discussed below. First function is range function. Range function. This function generate a random integer between its lower and upper argument. By default, lower argument is 0. By default, lower argument is 0 and upper argument is range minus 1. See in our example range we have given 30. Only one argument is passed here. Hence, lower limit is 0. Lower limit is 0 and upper limit is range minus 1, that is 0 to 29. Means random number are generated between these two limits 0 and 29. Sorry. Let's check out our code. When we run this code, then what will be displayed in our result. Look the result. 0 and 29 are produced when we run this code in our Python IDLE. We are providing for loop here, and for the purpose of for loop is only to call random number several times. If we are not providing for loop, then forcefully we have to call range function several times to check our output. Hence, in this our one statement using for loop and calling random module within for loop, one statement gives several output and we can check different results that are produced by range module. Range module gives by default 0 and up to n minus 1, means range minus 1 values are produced. Let out that are the second program. When we call range function in a for loop produces several outputs. For loop is used to produce several outputs because in a for loop we are calling range function several times. And check out the result here. You are passing two argument in range function. First argument is 1 and second argument is 20, and we have already discussed that range function produces range minus 1. 20 minus 1 is equal to 19. Maximum value is 19 that are displayed in range function. Now again check it. Random function generates random floating point values from the range 0.0 to 0.99. It takes no parameter and returns values between 0 to 1 but excluding 1. And when you call random function, then it will generate a floating point value and 1 is never produced when you run this random function. Here is the example. You are calling random. This first random is a module and second is the function. When you are running this and you are calling a for loop is used to 1 to 15, means 15 value are excluded, then 1 to 14 result will be generated because 14 times random function may be called by your code. Let the output displayed 1 to 14, and these are the several output that are displayed via random function. It will you can check it that random function generate floating point values. Floating values between range 0 to 1. 1 is excluded. 1 is excluded means you can never produce 1. Next, check our second program. If you want to generate random number between 10 and 15, because in our previous program when you want to generate a random number, then you can pass range 1 to 20. It will generate 1 to 19. By default it will generate 1 and 19 is the range. But if you want to generate a random function within 10 and 15, then you have several you can check the programming code here. We are passing range for I in range 1 to 15 means 1 to 14. 15 may be false. 15 may be false, and hence you are using here I is printed and random dot range. This will generate 0 to 1 value, and 1 value are multiplied by 5. Maximum value may be generated 0.99 and multiplied by 5 means 0.99 may be considered as 1. 1 multiplied by 5 is equal to 5 plus 10. Maximum 15 values may be created, but random function never generate 1. Hence you can generate values that are less than 15 only. Random function generate 0.0 to 0.99 values. If it generates 0.0, it generates 0 and multiply by 5, it will generate 0. That is generated 0 multiplied by 5 equal to 0. 0 plus 10 is equal to 10 may be generated. But if random is produces 0.99 multiplied by 5 plus 10 and 0.0 multiplied by 5 plus 10. Look the result. Result may generate maximum 14 values. Maximum 14 values and minimum values that are generated by this is 10. Minimum value is generated by 10 and maximum values is 14. Maximum values is 14 that are generated by this programming code. Now we have to discuss another function that are random module have rand int function. What this function perform? This function generate a random integer. It will generate a random integer between two given numbers, and this function return a value n which is equal to the given expression. N value is equal greater than or equal to a, and less than or equal to b, means both values may be included. Here you can pass 5 and 15, means 5 is also produced, 15 is also produced, means there are a random number between 5 and 15 and it will generate an integer value. Programming codes display here. These are the codes that are used to produce following result. If you run in your computer, that result may be displayed by your computer different, because it will generate a random number, and random number have no any sequence. It will be generated randomly. Next, uniform function. A random.uniform xy function return a random floating point number. It will return a random floating point number between two range x and y. The returned random floating point number is greater than or equal to x but less than y, means y is never produced by your result. See here, you are calling random dot uniform and passing two values 5 and 15, then 5 are generated here, but 15 is never generated. You can generate one maximum value, that are 14, and 5 is the start value, hence 5 is generated, but you can never generate 15 because uniform function does not generate end value. You can run in your computer also to check various results produced by these codes. Now another function, that are choice. This method is used for making a random selection. This making a random selection from a sequence. Sequence may be a list, tuple or a string, that may any. Here for loop is used to call random dot choice function several times. Here I choose a list and list values are east, west, north, south, and we are calling choice function, and it is from 1 to 11. 11 is the end value, hence end value does not produce in the result. These are used to 1 to 10. 1 to 10 calling choice function, and when calling choice function it will generate different choices among the list of values passed as an argument. Dear student, you can also run this function and you can also check your result also to verify the result produced by different inputs. Shuffle. This method is used to shuffle or swap the content of a list. It returns reshuffle list also. For example, east, west, north, south is a list values and its reference is dir. Dir is the reference. You are calling random dot shuffle dir. It will reshuffle the values because in a dir 0, 1, 2, 3. dir 0 have east value, dir 1 have west value, dir 2 have north value, and dir 3 have south value. When you reshuffle these and print the dir, then you can check it, values are changed. 0 have south value, 1 have west value, 2 have east value, and 3 have north value. Again you can reshuffle it, then north, south, west, east, south, west, and north values are displayed as a result. Means shuffle function are used to swap the content of a list. These are the important functions that are defined in the random module. Now look here, we have some questions regarding random module. Look here, What possible output are expected to be displayed on screen at the time of execution of the program from the following code? Also write the maximum and minimum values that can be assigned to a variable y. You have to discuss what can be values that can be assigned to variables y. Look here, x is random dot rand range. I have discussed here that when you are using rand range function, that rand range function may produce random number from 1 to 4 and fourth value are not included in your result. You can check it. Rand range, you can again check it. When you are passing 1 to 20 in rand range, then maximum value that are produced is 19. It is not produces 20. Hence, when we are going to our question, you can check it. Rand range, here rand range means x have values 1 to 3. X have values 1 to 3. It will never have 4 value. And look at your result. Print x is finally printed at the last, means last value is x. You can check it that x never will be 0 value. Here 0 is printed, then this option is cut from your desired output. Here you can see that x have values between 1 and 3, and here 4 is also displayed, and this option is also cut. Then you have only two answer, 0 to 2 and this, means B and C may be the right answer. B and C may be answer. B and C may be the right answer. You can check it. What is the maximum value? Also write the maximum and minimum values that can be assigned by your assigned to variable y. Y have random function. Random function have 0.0 to 0.99 value. Hence minimum value is 0.0 and maximum value is 0.99. One is never produced by random module. We have to discuss question number 2. From the following, what possible output are expected to be displayed on screen at the time of execution of the program from following code? Also specify the maximum values that can be assigned to both the variable begin and start. Look here, it is a rand range function. Begin has a rand range function. I have already told you that when only single value is passed, then default value is 0 and end value is never produced in the output. Hence it may be 0 1 2. It may be 0 1 2. And when you end function have rand range function, rand range have two values 2 and 3. 2 and 3. Rand end function produces result between x and y, and both the values are inclusive in your result. Hence when you are talking about maximum values that can be assigned to both the variable begin and end, then begin have maximum value 2 and end have maximum value 3. Begin have maximum value 2 and end have maximum value 3. Now check at the program. For C in the range begin to end, if we are taking begin have 0 to 2 values, begin have 0 to 2 values, and when begin have 0 to 2 values, starting values may be 0, 1, 2. Begin have 0, 1, 2 values, and end have 2 to 3 values. End have start value 2 and 3. 0, 1, 2, 3 means no any output that are produced having 55 as a result. No any output may be produced when you are calling this begin and end. Now you have a C in the range begin and end. Begin and end. Begin, you can put begin lowest value 0. If begin have 0 value and end have 2 value, 0 and 2, the 2 is never included in your result, means 0 and 1, and when it is 0, then 0 have 11 and 1 have 22. The 11 and 22 may be right. Begin have 0 to 2 and range have 2 to 3. When you put this, then this may be true. And when begin have, you can take maximum value 2. You can take maximum value begin initial value 0 and end maximum value 3. 0 to 3. Then 0 have 11, 1 have 22, 3 and 2 have 33. Means this may be a right answer. May be a right answer, but it may be some different. Here you can check 0, 1, 2, 3 and 4. 0, 1, 2, 3 and 4. You have end value begin to end. End have maximum value 3 and 3 have 44. Then 44 is never happen in the output. 44 is here occurred, then D and B answer may be cut from the given options. Hence A and C may be a right answer. Student, you can see here how we can eliminate the answer. Begin have initial value 0 to 2 and end have values 2 to 3. And when you are going to apply range function, end value are never included in the result, and end have maximum value 3 and 3 have 44 values. Then any option that produces 44 may be removed in the given output. Then then these two output is removed, then only A and C may be remaining, then that are the available answers. Now we have look another questions, that is find the from the following Python code find out the possible output from the suggested option. Here we have a function and weekdays, and it have a list and list values as Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. We have rand range, it have length days minus 1, length 1 2 3 4 5. When you use length, then it have 1 2 3 4 5. 5 minus 1 means 4. 5 minus 1 is 4. You are using let a student, I will discuss two answer, and that is for your homework. This is for your homework. You can solve it and tell me the answer in my WhatsApp, so that I can check your understanding, how much you have understand by the random module. I have discussed that it has rand range. Rand range, you have used length function in list. You can calculate the length, and length minus 1 is the maximum value, and length minus 1 will be never produced in your output. It is for your hint only, because when you have passed only one value in rand range, then default value is 0 and final value is length minus 1. Okay, that is the value for V, and you are passing here values for I in range V to 0 and minus 1 means you are subtracting values from this. Okay student, I have discussed this and I want your explanation, what will be the output that are available A, B, C, D. Okay, output are discussed, first one, second one, third one, and fourth one. What is the output? You can solve that question and send it to me, and I can confirm you what will be the output produced by this question. Tell you student, you can revise your concept, clear your concept, and first try to solve all the questions that you have confident and you know the answer first. After that, try other questions.